Welcome everyone to tonight's episode. We are the Snapdragon, an unlikely group of friends from around the globe who got together for the love of this game. My name is Omar. I am from Egypt, and I will be the DM for this campaign that we are doing in Eberron, the D&D setting by Keith Baker, where everything in D&D exists, but with twist of war, intrigue, and bold action. Our characters are level 5. We will be using a mix of the 2024 and 2014 rules. We may not have the greatest grasp on the rules and maybe don't have the greatest production quality yet, but what we have is good cinematic storytelling where characters, their emotions, and their storylines are rooted into the world and the narrative and intersect with it in fun and interesting ways. So hopefully you enjoy watching this campaign as much as we will enjoy playing it starting today. So telling with me this hopefully fantastic story is this wonderful cast around me, starting with Josh.
What's up, everyone? My name's Josh. I'm sitting in the USA. Hold for applause, hold for groans. I am playing the character of Jonis from Fairhaven, travels to Sharn in search for even one friend, and it looks like he might have found a few more than that, maybe. He seems a bit nervous. He wears a hood with a brimmed cap to it. He stands about 5'8", 5'9", maybe. He's young, and I'm playing a sorcerer, so get ready for some meta antics. Yeah, that's me.
Thank you, Josh. We also have Andre.
Hello, everyone, and a warm welcome from me from Ljubljana, Slovenia as well. I will be playing in this campaign the wonderful Max, the Bladesinger Wizard, and I am so excited to show everyone what he can do and what we can do together to entertain you, hopefully. So, yeah, stay tuned.
Thank you, Andre. We also have Jack.
Yes, hello, my name's Jack. I'm from the UK, more specifically Manchester, England, and I'm playing Sentinel. Sentinel is a big, dumb warforged in full heavy armor. He is a cavalier fighter. Built for the war, fought in the war, and then promptly discarded after the war. Now just kind of roaming around, trying to make his own life, and he does so alongside his good friend Daxoketh, who you will meet.
Speaking of Daxoketh, we also have Nate.
Hey everybody, I'm Nate. I am also from the US, a little bit further south than Josh, but we're both on the East Coast, represent. And I will be playing Daxoketh, a lord from Sire. He lost his homeland, as well as all of the other sirens, in the Mourning. And living in Highwalls, Daxoketh uses his every political skill that he has to better the lives of the citizens of Highwalls, and maybe even some of his roguish abilities to help the folks of Highwalls. So you'll get to see Daxoketh, the Khorvaire, which is a Eberron equivalent of half-elves. It's the same thing. It's just a little different because half-elves in Eberron are their own race called Khorvaire. So this is you'll get to meet him momentarily.
Thank you, Nate. And we have David as well.
Hello, everyone. My name's David. I'm from Ireland. Like Nate, I'm going to be playing a Khorvaire. I'm playing a bard, a college floor. His name is Leovar. really friendly guy, likable, warm, pretty open-minded. Was a pilot for a number of years, but an airship pilot specifically. No longer due to circumstances. He's currently living in Tavik's Landing and doing his best to help folks out. And you'll get to meet him and learn about him as I get to learn about him as I play him.
Fantastic. And finally, we have Sam.
Hello, I'm Sam. I'm originally from London, but I live in Ireland at the moment. I'm playing Carver Griffith, a small paladin. He was also originally from Seer. I think we're all going to say that word in our own way, so we might need to get used to that. He's very tall, imposing, has the colours of Seer on him as well as kind of clockwork designs, and he carries a very large greatsword that is shaped like an Odachi blade.
Awesome. Okay, well, introduction out of the way. As you can see, we have a group that is built to fit into Eberron. So, fans of the setting, hopefully you'll have a great experience with us. But people who don't know anything about Eberron, don't worry. We will explain everything as we go along. Snapdragons, let us dive into tonight's session of Eberron, the Echoes of Mourning. So, we arrive at Sharn, the city of towering spires that pierce the sky, built on a series of plateaus that are riverside. This city has many names. The City of 1,000 Eye, where every bridge you cross, every alleyway in the lower wards, every room you enter could have someone watching from the shadows. We descend into the bowels of the city, far from the gilded towers of the noble families and the oligarchs of the dragon market houses in the upper wards, and past the mundane bustle of the cramped of the middle districts. Down here in the lower wards, we find poverty, cramped housing, refugees from a devastating war, corruption, crime, and most of all, maybe hopelessness. This, some would say, is the true Sharn, the city of knives, where every smiling face may hide an ulterior motive and every friend could be waiting to stab you in the back. We pan and zoom deeper into the lower wards, where we finally arrive at a district lined by high walls and enclosed by spellbound gates, where the Sharn Watch keeps vigilant. Here, refugees from the last war, century-long conflict that ended just 2 years ago, but wounds and tensions still run deep, and nothing was as monumental as the Day of Mourning, a magical cataclysm that destroyed a nation and sent its people seeking refuge in this district of Highwalls, amongst people from other nations torn by war. We move through this crowded tenement and narrow streets where the smell of sweat, tobacco, and cheap cooking fills the air. Sunlight doesn't reach this far deep below Sharn, so the entire district is in dim light, only lit up by torches magically illuminating the space. We move deeper and deeper, specifically to an alleyway where a crowd of people have gathered next to a modest tavern called Hope's Wings. You would think that the tavern is the focal point of this, that there is a great performance inside, celebrating this late springtime, or some discount on the food that attracted the refugees here. But sadly, people are gathered around a corpse of a human man in his late 40s, wearing simple clothes with a balding head and rotund features. Nothing remarkable about this person, except for an inverted black triangle mark burned on his forehead, and the fact that his eyes have completely melted, leaving behind vacant hollows that stare in horror towards the crowd. His mouth is left open as if he was screaming silently. Amongst this crowd, in the early hours of this day, the 2nd of Dravago, we have our crew of characters, citizens of Highwalls who woke up to witness the scene of murder. So, please, here, give us a brief description of how you look and what would you like to do in those brief moments you have before the Sharn watch arrive. Who would like to start? Sure.
I'll go. Leovar is a somewhat slim build, half-elf, about 5'11", and got thick shoulder-length blonde hair, which he keeps slicked back. He's got a shock of very, very pale blue eyes. Somewhat slightly tanned skin, skin that also looks a bit weathered, as if it's been exposed to the elements quite a bit. Wears practical clothing, very well put together boots, wears fingerless gloves, and has 3 piercings, 2 on his earlobes and 1 up on the top of his ear, all in silver. Handsome looking fellow, and he's got a flute holstered on his leg and a lute over his shoulder.
Okay. Sentinel is you see his top half above the crowd as he stands a modest 6'8", wearing full kind of dark, not quite black, but a kind of dark grayish armor, heavy armor. He kind of leans on a big square tower shield. He has a long sword at his hip, and he holds a helmet under his other arm, which has a big red mohawk along the top. And as he kind of takes in the scene, he looks down at his friend Daxoketh and goes, "Well, that's not good. I mean, what could even do something like that? Or who?" And then he looks off to the left at someone.
Well, I can go next. Max is a elven bladesinger wizard, and he is a slim build. He's wearing his signature white cloak and black shirt and pants. He has black hair, brown eyes, very innocuous, doesn't stand out much except for the color of his cloak. He has a rapier safely secured in his sheath on one side of his belt, and on the other side is a spellbook hanging by a chain. And when Max sees this scene, he takes a look around, notices that the watch is not yet here, and he is going to take a quick look over the body, see if he can maybe figure out the name of this individual, or at least something that would mark him or give us a clue as to who he was.
Okay, we will get to that. Who would like to go next?
I think Jonis is probably standing behind Leovar, David's character. He's a human, by the way, and I think that he might even be covering himself up a little bit from the sight of this scene. Omar, I didn't realize we were playing a horror campaign, but thanks for that. And he would just quietly look on in fear, sort of hiding behind the older, bigger people than he is. He kind of is, if we're giving clothing descriptions, he's kind of got this Jim Hawkins from Treasure Planet, future Trunks from Dragon Ball Z like type jacket that's cut off, and leathers, as well as, of course, that hood that he is hiding behind in fear of this awful sight.
Quite the opposite reaction to Jonas's. Daxoketh is in a familiar shade of green that matches the same kind of color that happens to be on our friend Carver, signifying siren loyalty or heritage. And it's quite a well put together outfit. He looks very official, very he looks like an official of some sort, and he is as a politician and a lord. And he looks on it with disgust because it is gross, but also intrigue, and he'd like to get a good look at the triangle on the thing's face, see if he can't recognize it, and he turns to Sentinel and says, "Grizzly for a morning, isn't it? Quite disgusting, actually. Not sure who or what could do something like this."
Carver is a very tall human-looking type, about 6'6", very imposing. He wears heavy armor with, as I said, clockwork designs and the odd flash of green for his Siren heritage. He has dark brown hair, and one eye is covered by a leather patch. The other one is kind of a molten color, more like brass than anything. It can kind of oddly shine if light hits it right. And he doesn't seem that interested in what's going on. He's kind of just leaning against the wall and waiting for the others to decide something.
Okay. We have Daxoketh and Max here doing some things. I would like for Max to give me a perception check, while Daxoketh give me an investigation check.
I think Leovar is a little slower threading through the crowd, trying to get close to the scene, but he's making his way there to get a look at what's happened.
Don't go too fast.
3.
Don't go too fast.
Mine's a 6.
Fantastic.
Great.
I wanted to investigate him, not perceive him. Unlucky.
No, I see. I wanted to see if you recognize this person, and it doesn't seem like someone you know, but you also just arrived recently to this area, so you don't know a lot of people. And Daxoketh, you move closer to that triangle. It is clearly visible. It is a new, unsettling symbol that does not resemble anything that you know. Leovar, however, as you step closer to this, you actually recognize this person as Bryn Taniran. Bryn was a resident of Highwalls. He worked in a tannery, and he was one of the people that you rescued.
Leovar kind of pushed through the last barrier of the crowd, and there's Max and Daxoketh there, and he just kind of stops for a moment, and there's an intake of breath. Oh no. And he seems a little grief-stricken as he kind of freezes for a moment, and he'll carefully step over, just looking at him for a moment, clearly upset.
Max will look up at Leovar and say, "What is it? Did you know this person?"
I do. His name's Bryn Taniran. I don't know why this would have happened here.
Well, he obviously got tangled up with something pretty bad by the looks of it.
He's a kind sort. That doesn't make sense. He's
Well, Max is gonna stand up and place a hand on Leovar's shoulder as he walks off.
Okay.
Kind people can die just as much as bad ones.
Lever doesn't respond to as he's looking at the body. Does Bryn have a family that Leovar knows?
Yeah, Bryn has like 3 teenage boys.
He takes a breath. He knows where the tannery is, and he figures he should wait for the watch to get here, but he squats down beside him for a moment and just looks at the ghastly expression on his face and whatever it could have been that did this to him, and he doesn't really understand. Feels a little nauseous, and he kind of holds a hand over him for a moment and he pulls it back. He'll stand up and he'll step back into the crowd.
Okay. As you do that, does Sentinel, Carver, or Jonis do anything?
No, if you've got something, go ahead.
Just seeing that reaction, Carver is going to kneel down, and he's not really looking at the body so much, he's kind of looking around it to see if anything was disturbed or moved, or if there's any kind of anything left behind by somebody else.
Okay. Say with your passive perception, as you look around, there is no bloodied knife or club, there is no weapon of murder, and there are no obvious signs of like a struggle around this scene of murder. It seems like the victim was overwhelmed like quickly and without much of a struggle. Like this wasn't a typical street fight.
Does he still have a coin pouch and that kind of a thing on him?
I'd say this would require an investigation check.
Dirty 20.
Okay. So you find his coin pouch, and it's filled with some silver. So this also means this fight wasn't, or this murder wasn't about money. Like this was something else.
Carver will turn to Max and just say, "This looks magical. This wasn't a robbery."
Magical? How can you tell?
It's no murder weapon, no real blood, no bruises, no defensive wounds. What else could it be?
I guess you're right.
And he'll
But,
put the coin pouch back. He's not taking it.
so, what are we gonna do about it, if anything? I mean, Leovar obviously knew the person, but I didn't. You didn't either, I assume.
Looks at the others.
Lever had stepped away from the immediate crowd and has a hand on a wall. He's not immediately near you, he's just hand on a wall and just a moment.
Okay. So as you're all standing here, the crowd begins murmurings of like this person and like who will tell his children? How could something like this happen? And another like more angry voices going, for how long will this kind of violence against us continue? and you see a watch garrison approaching from one of the gates. Maybe like 4 or 5 in the colors of the Sharn watch, the browns and the greens, led by a human in his mid-20s maybe, but with a large mustache that is meant to make him seem older and give him more of an authority. This is Thomas Nolindal, who is an officer in the Guardians of the Gate, which are a specific sect, a specific unit of the Sharn Watch that are tasked with foreigners and refugees problems. And you see Thomas approaches, looks at the scene, and he just looks at Leovar, give him like a nod as he moves past, and he goes into the crowd, the guards like pushing people away. Just let us pass. Thomas looks at the body. He leans a little bit and he goes, This person is citizen here.
He heads towards the guards now that they're there. Yes, his name is Bran Tannerin. He works in a tannery nearby.
He is a siren.
He's a siren.
See, he nods his head and he goes, and then he stands up and he goes, Unfortunately, we can't do anything about this. But the Treaty of Thronehold that was officiated 2 years ago, the law enforcement of Breland and by extension Sharn, since it's part of Breland, is only responsible for the lives of the citizens of the 12 nations who are in the treaty, and members of dragon market houses, of course. Yes, sadly, since Sire is no longer a nation, per term 72 and section 33 of the treaty, sirens aren't under the protection of the law. Thus, no official investigation will be conducted.
Excuse me?
Carver just kind of dashes forward and grabs the man by the collar of his shirt.
No, Carver, I don't think...
You see the guards around him begins to take out swords, but Thomas just raises his hands and he goes, The Guardians of the Gate are responsible for keeping the city and its citizens safe from dangerous foreigners, investigating crimes committed by and against foreigners. However, again, due to the unique position of Siren refugees, Sirens aren't citizens of a recognized nation of the Treaty of Thronehold, so we cannot conduct an investigation. But as he puts his hands on yours, people of any kind in Sharn has to abide by the laws of the nation. So, if a Siren rogue kills a decorated British officer, they will be put in prison.
Of course.
Carver just stares for a moment, and then he lifts Captain up slightly, and then just drops him forcefully.
He looks at the body, he looks at Carver with intense eye contact. He goes, The watch, however, will apprehend those responsible if strong evidence is presented to Commander Iana Ertalan of Lower Tavix in the Black Arch garrison.
Of course.
I'll turn to Leovar and just say, why do I feel like we're going to have to go find this evidence? You feel that suspicion too?
Leovar uncustomarily isn't really smiling. He seems sad. Although he only extends to anyone that cares. I'm going to volunteer my services to investigate this, to find evidence, given that there is some unfortunate legal circumstances, because this man has a wife and 3 kids, and he does not deserve to die unknown in an alleyway and not have the person responsible brought to justice.
So you're okay with us doing a little civilian investigation? Since you're...
Oh, we're doing an
capable of doing
investigation,
anything.
all right.
I mean, if you want to volunteer, we can stop you, but again, you have to be cognizant of the fact that there are laws in this land that you will have to abide by. Sadly, our hands are tied with the terms of the treaty.
Yes, it's the good old treaty. Well, you have one volunteer here who will look into this. I suppose the watch wouldn't break the news to his family either, would they?
If you want to take that responsibility yourself, that is fine, but
I will.
murder is something that we can report.
I know where they live. They know me. I'll break the news.
Well, suit yourself. He begins to go, away from the scene, but the guards will try to take, the corpse. Reporting and recording the incident. You see the people around definitely are not happy by this, but you see this older man with very white long hair, who seems to carry an air of a person who was in the war, and who carries deep sentiments regarding that. And he just looks at the body and he goes, "So it's you, Sirens. This is not your home. If you complain too much, just go back to where you came from. Don't bother us."
Excuse me, sir. A man has died here, so you might have opinions, but maybe you could keep them to yourself, please.
Whatever. And he just walks away, and you see a couple of especially younger people in this crowd are ready to go and grab this older person who seems to be a British farmer or something that lives here. But the presence of the guards, just as they sense the danger, they give looks to those young people, warning looks, and they all step back, and the guards begin to go to their station near the gates.
Leovar kind of takes a breath. He looks at the crowd, a lot of whom he recognizes, and kind of look to the disparate group here. I know we haven't really known each other very long. I'd like to ask for your help in looking into this. This is my home, and I care about a lot of these people that are here, and I'd like to get to the bottom of this, but this isn't my speciality.
You don't even have to ask. A wife and daughter, sons, are left alone because of someone in the watch will do nothing. Oh, I say screw them. We'll make our own watch if we have to.
Thank you, Max.
Carver is just opening and closing his hands very angrily, and seems to be twitching his head as though listening to something. But he doesn't look at you.
Jonis will step up and give you a humble nod and say, I'll try my best. You've got whatever I have to offer. I just have no idea where to start.
Well, his wife needs to be made aware of what's happened, and if he'd been seeing anything strange recently, she'd be the one to know. I suppose.
Yep, I'll also step forward. It's not exactly my forte either, but I came here because I wanted to try and help, and this is clearly need it. And this law, rule, whatever it is a load of rubbish. So I'll help.
Thank you. And he kind of glances to Daxoketh.
Sounds like you have a good enough place to start, but honestly, I think I'm going to have to insist I help, because without me, I'm not sure you'd get very far. You talk to the family and speak to the wife, and I have an idea of something I could look into, maybe.
Great, thank you, all of you. Really, I really wouldn't get very far with this without your help. I don't have a lot of skills that some of you do, so thank you. I really, really appreciate it. I know where they live, so I might head there now. Whoever wants to come with me, and Daxoketh, you have a plan to start digging. Maybe we meet back here in an hour.
Why don't Sentinel and Carver, would you want to come with us? Unless you really want to do all the talky-talky with the family.
I need some time here still. I want to investigate something Carver noticed.
Well then, maybe you and Carver investigate, and Sentinel and I track down an idea I have, and...
Yeah, I'll go with you. I'm not so good at talking with people, so...
Your strong suit is in your strength. Jonis, would you go with Leovar?
Mm-hmm.
You don't seem so sure.
You don't need to. I can, if you'd rather go with someone else, Jonas. It's.
I think that you look too sad right now. We need a little bit of someone to offset your energy, and I'll. You know what I mean? Like honey attracts the bees, or whatever they say, and dead people's families deserve that honey too.
He gives you a look, Jonas, and he kind of looks down, takes a breath, and he looks up. He's got a very relaxed smile on his face, and he says, "You're quite right, Jonas, and don't worry, I'm good at changing face when I need to."
I'm here for you, buddy.
Thank you, Jonas. He'll pat you on the shoulder.
Okay. Leo, you take Jonas and move towards the area known as the Crow's Bush tenements. Sharn is a city of towers, and so here in the lower wards, what you see around you are the foundations of those towers. Miles, or no, not miles, like hundreds of feet in diameter, and built inside of those tower foundations are those tenements, just like close apartments that barely can hold the capacity with how many refugees are here in this district. Going there, you know the path, you know where you would find Bryn's family. And so you go there, you go maybe like 2-3 floors up into this tenement area, filled with all sorts of terrible scenes of people who fled from a war. Not even from the war itself, but from the cataclysm that was caused in part by the war. And so as you go up there, you actually see a familiar figure here in Highwalls, a reporter from the Sharn Inquisitive, in a brown coat, white shirt, completely buttoned up for this, and flowing red hair, and just like a little bit long, that had ears with like an elvish lineage to them. And she is also going to, like, you all, both you, Jonas, and her arrive at the door at the same time. And she just looks at you, Leovar, smiles, and goes, "Well, strange seeing you here. Still volunteering?"
Yes, Miss Silverquill. You catch on to news very quickly. You're very astute with the goings on here. You weren't about to ask questions of a woman who is unaware of her husband's passing, were you?
I would have first broke the news, but then, I had a couple of questions, of course. That's what I do for a living.
Miss Silverquill, and I kind of look at Jonas and I give her a smile. Yes, I have volunteered, and so have my friends. Some daft laws preventing the Watch from intervening and looking into this. So, how about I promise you a thorough interview with myself once I've done we've done our contribution in this investigation. As soon as we know anything, if you can give this poor woman at least a day before you interview her.
Give me a persuasion check.
Pretty good, because I have expertise, so it's a 24.
Oh, okay. You see, she looks a little bit disappointed at you breaking into her empathy, and she just looks up at you. She goes, "Fine, but I'm staying here, not leaving. Once you go out of that door, we're talking."
Oh, I mean, I don't have much information yet, but sure. We can talk immediately, and you can talk to me later, as long as you give this poor woman some space.
Yeah, maybe just ask her, like, where her husband was, if he had any, connections with, criminal organizations like the Bormar or the Task. Maybe ask her if he had any, dalliances with the Syrian Restoration Front, stuff like that.
Yeah, I do plan on it as a volunteer looking into this. We plan on it. I give Jonas a smile. So thank you for the advice, Miss Silverquill.
She just leans her back on a ledge that, looks down at the rest of the apartments. She goes,
Leovar kind of steps up to the door with Jonas and will kind of quietly to Jonas. How are you feeling? You've never done this before?
I don't think I like it here. She's awful, and that guard was awful too.
There's a lot of lovely people here, but unfortunately a lot of those people...
Where? Where are they?
He gestures to a very cramped district. A lot of the Siren refugees are tense, understandably, but there's a lot of really nice people among them.
Oh, yeah, well, I'm not talking about the refugees. I'm talking about the people who should be helping them. This is crazy.
Oh, yeah, right, I agree.
I gotta calm down. I'm supposed to be the honey. Okay. I'm feeling okay. I'll just sort of lighten the mood. I'll keep things up. Well, that's not what she's going to want. I don't even know what I'm doing. I tried to make a joke earlier to make people laugh, and it didn't. No idea what to do, where to start. Like, he's got no eyes, and that one didn't land
that's
either.
A little morbid. Jonas, that's a little morbid.
I might have been the wrong choice for this.
No, you're wonderful. He's 3 kids. They're teenagers. If they're there, you might maybe be on that level.
Yes, I will babysit.
He takes a breath and he'll turn to the door and he'll knock, knock, knock.
Okay. You do
What was her name as well? The wife's name?
Rebecca.
Rebecca.
So you knock on the door. Give me just a minute. And Rebecca opens the door. And she looks like a very homely person, like a big colorful shawl on her shoulders. Hair that is slightly grayish. A bun. A messy bun. That pulls her hair together. And she just looks at you, Leovar, and she goes, "Oh! Leo! Hello! Lovely morning to you.
Hey, Rebecca.
You're here for the casserole? I didn't make any yet. It's quite early in the morning."
Yes, well, I have been thinking about since your last one. You left Rayla and Agrin. No. This here's my friend Jonis. Could we come in for a few minutes? I have something to tell you.
Okay. She lets you in. It's a very humble house as you enter. This is the entry furniture, just some couches and a table for the family to eat on. And she takes you in, and she grabs some clothes and stuff that are like thrown around. She goes, "The boys, they make a mess. I'm sorry for this."
Oh no, you're all right, Rebecca.
Oh, you have kids. That's so sweet.
She looks
Where are
at you,
they?
Jonas. Well, Jackie is at the tannery, and the other boys, they, Bryn didn't return yesterday, so the other boys went to look for him.
Oh, right. I'm afraid that's what I came to talk to you about, Rebecca. There's really... You might want to sit down, I'm afraid. And he kind of takes her hand.
You see, she looks up at you, Leovar, and she goes, Just tell me.
I'm afraid...
We lost a lot already. If you're telling me that I lost some more, I can't take it. It's alright.
I'm afraid you've lost a lot more, Rebecca. Your husband, Bren, he was murdered last night outside of Hope's Wings. But I promise you, I am going to do everything I can to find who did it. Even if the watch won't, I promise you I will do what I can.
Okay.
Taking this really well.
The silent response to the message.
She gets closer to you, Leovar. She puts her hand over yours and she goes, "You saved us once already, Leovar. You did a lot, and you lost a lot because of it. Please don't put yourself in more danger for us."
Rebecca, I promise you, this is quite literally the very least I can do to help. I want to do this. I'm not...
Just know that Bryn would not want you to be in danger.
Thankfully, I've got some friends who are very capable, helping me out, and very good at dealing with danger if it crosses my path. So,
She nods.
I know you
Okay.
need to have time, Rebecca, and I know this will be really hard for you. But if I could ask you if there's been anything strange happening with Bryn recently, or has he made any remarks about anything unusual?
He has been lately going to Smoky Towers in Middle Memphis. He says it's for acquiring materials, but Jackie doesn't allow Jack to go with him. I thought he was cheating on me or something, but I don't know. I don't think Bryn has it in him.
He would never.
No. I said I would have killed him for it, but I think someone did that for me.
Got it.
Leovar gives her a hug. I'll look into this with every bit of ability I have, Rebecca. And if you think of anything or need it, so don't hesitate to reach out to me, okay?
Thank you.
Miss Rebecca, there's a lady out, but don't worry, we've told her to leave you alone while you take the time for yourself. But just be aware that this lady wants to ask you questions, and she's the worst. So if you don't feel like engaging with her, don't.
Reporter.
But was your husband engaged in any criminal activity?
I don't think so.
I didn't think so either. Just wanted to get ahead of that one. And I give her a hug too, but it's like a side hug.
Okay. I don't know you that well, so.
He means well. He really does.
Yeah, and this is one of your friends who will help you?
The more danger equipped to deal with ones are elsewhere.
Sovereigns be with you. Sovereigns be with you all.
Mind yourself, Rebecca. I'll talk to you soon, okay?
Okay. So, you do that, you go out of the apartment, and we shift focus to another spot. This one where Max and Carver are at the crime scene. That the crowd has moved away to pursue their activities for the day. The place is a little bit quieter. Still, tension is still in the air, but not as much that now there is no corpse on the street. So, what do you guys want to do?
Well, it is unfortunate that the guards took the man away, but nevertheless, I can still check for any traces of magic that were perhaps left, as you said. This is going to take a little bit, though, and I am going to sit down to meditate in the spot where the man lay before, and ritual cast detect magic to see if there's any traces that we can pick up still.
Okay. What does Carver do? What is
While Max does that, Carver keeps an eye out for anyone who's watching, who seems perhaps they weren't part of the crowd that was there a moment ago. And he's also just kind of walking up and down that little bit of street to see is there like how good of a ambush site was this? Was this a place where people could have been looking out the windows and should have seen something, or is this place well hidden? Like he's just kind of looking up at windows and rooftops and trying to figure out was this a good ambush point?
give me a perception check.
Yay! Okay. Let's see. What? Oh, 18 minus 1 is 17. Yeah, minus
Okay.
1. You only got one
Uh,
eye.
Okay. You don't see any rooftops because the towers just go into impossibly high, like miles high points from here into the upper. But you see a couple of windows, and from the position of the corpse and the position of this alleyway next to a tavern in a prominent area in Highwalls, there are a couple of windows that someone could have looked at. You don't know when the murder was, like when it occurred, so it would be tricky. That maybe like, no one was watching, but it is a possibility.
Okay, he considers that and kind of tries to get a reference point for which doors they might need to knock on to ask if anybody saw anything. But he's also just keeping an eye out in case anybody decides to hit the wizard over the head while he's meditating.
No, it seems fine for those 10 minutes. And Max finishes the spell, but you have a bunch of kids who would like try to like poke his head or try to throw something at him. What are you doing? You know, it's like, get up.
So long as they don't do anything too violent, Carver's going to let them.
Kids, being stupid. But yeah, after 10 minutes, Max, your eyes open and tell us, what does detect magic look for Max? Like, is there anything specific that he does to?
Well, as the spell finishes, the spell book itself flies open to the page where the spell is inscribed on, and his eyes sort of start just glowing softly with a bluish, arcanish energy as he now adapts to seeing the arcane in the outside world.
Okay. As your senses begin to open, you notice two things. There is this faint, like very faint, metallic tang in the air, or something like disturbed, electrified dust particles, just like float in the magic vision. And you find almost like a trail of those particles that go and form almost like a bath, like a pathway through the air here. But it slowly fades as it goes out of the gates of Highwalls. But definitely the cause of death was something magical, like give me an arcana check now with this knowledge.
All right. Arcana. That is a 13.
13 is what you needed. You notice that those particles actually fly off from what seems to be like a localized burst of an energy surge almost. And you can like see it as you catch the particles in the air. You look for the source and you notice that where the corpse was, there is this almost like swirling little thing of magical energy just keeps buzzing in the air, and it gives off this magical particle effect, like whatever caused the eyes to melt, it wasn't acid or fire, something magical and intense.
Well, this is not what I expected, and I'm assuming that this is the first time I would have seen something like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's almost a trail and an after effect of whatever this was that still remains. That doesn't really make sense. The trail, would I remember if it is following the path that the guards had taken the body in, or is it going in a different direction?
No, it seems like it's taking that direction. Like
Okay.
this was something that happened here, and then it trailed off as the body moved.
But the main part of it is on the body. Damn it.
Could perhaps your little friend follow the trail?
Well, I don't know if it can get inside I don't know, morgue or wherever they're taking it, but I can send him on his way. Maybe he'll find out something, but we'll see. Oh, well, and I will go. I'm gonna use my magic action to summon my familiar in the form of an eagle this time. And I'm gonna send it off to check where the body was taken, to see if it can fly and find the guards and the body again, at least to know if we decide to check it again where we have to go.
Okay. So the eagle. What does the eagle look like? Any discernible features?
No. It is a spirit, but it takes the form of just a normal eagle. That I mean, an eagle is uncommon to see in a city like this, so it already stands out on that front. But it just, to the naked eye, it looks like a normal eagle.
Okay, so your eagle flies, following the trail of this magic, and it goes towards where the Sharn watch station is, outside the gates of the city.
I figured.
Perhaps.
Give me a stealth check for this eagle as it tries to
All right.
follow the trail.
Eagles are low key.
That is a natural 17 for, I don't know if an eagle has a bonus or a minus. Let me check real quick.
You have a +2.
It has +2, so 19 total.
Okay, that's good. The eagle flies following the trail, and lucky for you, the morgue area is it has like these, those like old windows that are in basements that you look up to the street above. The morgue has one of those, and you see there are like two Sharn watch doctors, people who do autopsies and stuff like that, and are like examining the body. And you see them, they are talking, they're looking around. Give me a perception check for history.
That is a 7, and I believe the eagle has a +4 to perception. Yes, so that's an 11 total.
Okay, so the eagle looks into that window, and he hears them saying that two other victims were found with the same markings and cause of death. It seemed to be an intense localized energy surge that the brain itself seems to be fried or emptied by an electric current. The victims are one was found in Smoky Towers in Middle Memphis, and another in the district of Broken Arch in Middle Dura. All are sirens.
All right. Well, I mean, the eagle did what it was sent out to do, so it will return probably and reestablish the telepathic connection to tell me what had happened, and I'm gonna tell the same information to Carver, as I say, 3 different districts, and yet all 3 of the victims were Siren. I mean,
That can't be a
probably
coincidence.
Daxoketh. Sorry, what?
That can't have been a coincidence.
No, probably Daxoketh or Leovar would know if those other districts are also Siren dominated. I don't know myself, but in any case, it is looking, as you said, like this is someone targeting people from Sire. Damn it! In which case, our employer will want us to get involved with it. Ugh.
Targeting. It's
Oh, well.
interesting that Sirens are all, well, investigating their murders is something that the Guard don't do. They could be being targeted simply because this city views them as expendable.
Yes, but for what purpose then? To kill just so you kill? It doesn't make sense.
Well, they're not taking money. These people aren't important.
Yes.
What would you do if you had a magical ability and you were trying it out on people? What would that say about you? What would your intent be?
Well, I certainly wouldn't go about murdering people for no reason.
No, yes, no, not you, but I mean, if you're not taking money, if you're not killing people in power, then it's what? It's for pleasure, it's for
Pleasure or experimentation to prepare for something, like
exactly.
a dress rehearsal. I see what you mean.
I mean, they could also just hate Sirens, but
Well, those kinds of theories are a bit out of my depth, but I guess we can share what we found. By the way, what were you doing while I was meditating? I felt some weird scratching and poking on my face.
oh, some of the local kids were trying to get you to wake up.
Of course. That's me. The attraction.
You might also want to go to the restroom before we go anywhere.
What? I'm not even going to ask, and I'm gonna walk into the tavern and go clean myself.
I'm just imagining Carver let someone just draw on his face. Like he has to go and wash that up.
Just mustache, you're just so in the moment to do it.
Okay, great. Okay, so we zoom out of this and go into another area here. Daxoketh.
So Daxoketh grabs Sentinel, and he says, I'm going to need you to do me a favor. We have to go see someone that's not very pleasant. The fence, the broker.
Not the usual.
The usual one.
I don't know why you keep going back to this guy. You just clearly don't like each other.
He's the best there is in the city. I mean, he's just here in Highwalls. I can't avoid him.
There must be someone else. You know a lot of people. Fine, let's just go.
Alright.
Okay, so you go through There's a maze of alleyways and narrow streets that is hard. And as you go, you actually notice what seem to be like wanted posters on the walls of this cloaked, masked person. And it says, who is Naz? Contact the watch if you have any information. A handsome reward awaiting. And some of those posters have blue paint on them that says, screw the watch. Respect the silent oath. But you continue walking until you find the place of your broker. This shack that is built into, or actually not a shack. It's a window. It's a wooden window that is closed, and it's just this window into a tower foundation. And there is a secret knocking sequence that Daxoketh would know that would let the window open.
Yeah, I knock, and then pause in the middle and finish the sequence.
You hear
Okay.
a bunch of like locks, and then the window open up, and you would think that you would look up at someone, but then you look down, you see this gnome sitting on like a wooden chair, and he goes, Daxoketh.
Newbie.
Told you many times not to come here, Daxoketh, but you still do. Some reason that I don't understand. Is it because
You're
I'm
the-
too good?
It's
Is it
because
because
you're
I have
the
all the
best.
information?
Yes. You have everything.
All the
Everything
items?
goes through you.
Okay. You see
You're
this
the
gnome,
greatest. You're the best. Oh,
this-
we all need you so much.
he is he's looking young, but gnomes, and this person could be 100 years old and you wouldn't
Right.
know. And he has a mane of wild dyed green hair, and a shirt that is sleeveless, and he just like puts his hands on the table as he looks up and he goes, what is it this time, Daxoketh?
Well, what I need from you is some information. And you might not know this, but there's been a body found this morning in the middle of the street, and it has a strange marking on it, a triangle, all black, on this area. He sort of draws the triangle on his forehead.
Might know a thing or two about that, but things like this cost.
I know. How much is that going to hurt my pockets?
Your pockets, I'd say maybe 3 golds.
If I make it 4, will you learn quicker what I'm looking for?
Perhaps. Give me a persuasion check.
Sure. It's an 11. An 11.
11 and 4 golds, which is more than he wanted anyway. He goes, okay. You said an inverted black triangle? Did man?
Yes, some sort of family man, as I'm to understand, but we all have secrets.
Is this man British, Onadarian, Thranish?
Siren,
Siren,
as I'm
that
led
is-
to believe.
That is odd. Well, as far as I know, the inverted black triangle is the symbol of a an insurgent siren group known as the Siren Restoration Front. They are a group of people who want and demand to be given land where they can rebuild their destroyed nation. Some even calling for the Prince Ugrif Erwinarn of New Sire to be given that piece of land to rule as a sovereign nation on British soil, which of course is very out there when it comes to beliefs. Gets them in all sorts of heated arguments and tense situations. I'm just surprised if this man is Siren and this organization is all about calling people of Siren blood to come to the aid of their ancestral homeland. Why would a Siren victim have this mark on their forehead? Doesn't really make sense, does it?
Curious. Does raise some suspicion, doesn't it? Maybe there's infighting within the infighting.
Perhaps, or some sort of retaliation or a message that those members are being, like they are being revealed or they are being observed.
It could also be that someone's trying to frame them. I mean, it's just a symbol, right? Anyone could do it. Someone doesn't like these people. They kill a guy and put their symbol on his forehead. It stirs the pot.
Very
Someone
manipulative,
trying
what you're suggesting.
to put sirens against each other. Could be.
Well, thank you, Snoopy. You've been excellent as always.
Don't come here again, Daxoketh. Please.
Don't.
Like your face. It has this weird thing in it that I can't stand.
Well, you're the first.
Be just like you see him, he cranks something like beneath this desk that he was from behind, and the window just shuts immediately. Crank, and then you hear the locks again being shut. Go away now.
Turns to Sentinel and says, I hate how good he is.
Yeah, I mean, he is an ass, but he knows stuff. So
Always.
But there has to be someone else. Anyone. We'll find someone. We'll find someone.
So you think this could be a frame-up? Some sort of misdirect?
I mean, it could be. Just a hunch. But I mean, people don't exactly like the sirens anyway.
Right.
So, just like you say, trying to cause infighting, trying to stir up trouble. Why fight them yourself when you can get them to fight each other? Makes sense.
You should have been the politician.
No, I'm just saying what I see.
Perceptive. What about you? What do you think about this whole siren refugee situation that we find ourselves in?
I mean, it's complicated. All these people with nowhere to go. And, they've come from really bad things. I don't know. I don't know. I think on one hand, you know, these people have nothing and they need help. You know, on the other hand, it's, I don't want to say a burden because that feels like the wrong word, but I can't think of anything else. It creates pressure on other people, if that makes sense. You know, to provide and to help. I mean, I haven't. You know, I mean, I might as well be a refugee myself. So I've never been to these high up places where all the fancy people are. I don't know if they've got plenty of room to let the refugees in and give them shelter, or they're just forcing these people to live in these horrible conditions because, you know, they're just a bunch of dicks. But yeah, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out.
More compassionate than those that live in those high places.
Yeah, well, that's not hard.
It is ironic, isn't it, that during the war things seemed much simpler. Now the war's over and things are so much more complicated.
Yeah, Sentinel gets a bit awkward at that comment.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't
I
thinking.
guess. No, it's fine. Yeah, I mean, simple, yeah, but not good. Certainly not good. Simple is not always better. But,
Still, though, not what I expected entirely.
No. I mean, I don't think anyone could have really expected this. I mean, the guy had no eyes. I mean, what kind of magic even is that? It's not normal.
Macabre and quite disgusting.
I don't know what macabre means, but I agree. Unfortunately, we got some good information, so we should probably go back and tell the rest of them.
Sure. I suppose we'll meet at our usual watering hole.
On the way back, I'm gonna, one of those wanted posters, I'm gonna find one that hasn't been defaced, and I'm gonna tear it off the wall and just shove it in my pack.
Okay, so you all converge back to Hope's Wings, this tavern in the center of the district. And as you, Sentinel and Daxoketh approach, you see Leovar and Jonis have Elandra, Silverquill, with them, the nosy reporter from the Sharn, inquisitive, and she's like talking to Leovar. So, what did you tell her? I tried to stay silent all the way because you told me, will tell me all about the investigation, but and she sees the rest and she goes, "Oh, hi, rest of the volunteering group is here."
Oh god, this woman again.
Yes, Miss Silverquill is here to ask questions about our investigation. I asked her to give some breathing space to the bereaved Rebecca, the wife of Bryn, and not bombard her with questions.
Has she heard of others?
Pardon?
Has she heard of others?
Others?
Victims.
There's more than one?
There is more than one? And she takes a note.
Oh, something you don't know?
I'm not omniscient. I'm just a good reporter.
So, how many more victims were there? Where did you find this out? Is it the same grotesque look?
I'm not saying any more in front of her.
Well, unfortunately,
This is not playing nice. This is not. This is
Well,
not
what are you
nice.
doing for us? How are you helping us? We're helping your career, your writing. What are you doing for us?
Well, I will, write your contribution in this, and I will embellish, and I will say how awesome you are, especially you, Carver.
He just stares at her.
Well, Silverquill, I certainly did say that I would inform you of all the things that I know, and I will. They clearly know things that I don't, though, and they're clearly not ready to share with you. So perhaps once we as a group have put our heads together, I, the person that is willing to be interviewed by you, can provide in a summarized manner the information that we have gathered together. How does that sound?
Well, now I don't want to tell you.
However, it was either this or have her immediately interrogate a woman who just found out she lost her husband and has 3 kids that she has to look after by herself.
You're meant to be the talky one. Look, I don't want accolades, I don't want my name in the paper. How about you make a deal with us that when we come looking for information, you provide?
Give me a persuasion check, Carver.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, oh man, I kind of don't want it.
Oh, why is it
It was in that 20, but I kind of don't want it. Because I feel like it would be so much funnier if it was.
Okay.
Hey, happens.
Okay, +5, so that's 25.
Okay. You see her, she sits down at the table, she looks at you, Carver, and she goes, so you can cooperate, and you can be, persuasive. That is surprising, honestly.
Oh, I can be charismatic, I just choose not to be.
Why is that? Why is Carver of Highwalls looking himself up in this bubble of clockwork and brass parts?
Because the nicer you are to people, the less chance you have to fight them.
Leo cocks his head at you,
Yeah.
files that away.
Okay. She writes that down.
Carver will hold out a gauntlet at hand and say,
David writes
do
that
we have a
down.
deal?
You do. Actually, I will show some goodwill here, and I will go do some nosying in the watch station and see if I can gather the names of those other victims.
Perhaps you should talk to the coroners.
That would be wonderful if you could, Miss Silverquill.
I will do my magic, and she adjusts her coat. Nice to meet you, everyone. There's a Carver. Nice to meet you. And
I would just...
She turns away.
I'm beginning to like you, but you clearly don't want it. So this is just I'm trying to help. This is very weird, but fine. She goes out of the tavern. At this point, Sentinel and Daxoketh arrive. The tavern here is very simple, just like 8 tables thrown around this place. A bar that also serves as like a half kitchen place. It's very messy and very, and especially in these circumstances, it's also very dour. There is a very muted atmosphere here in the place. And you pass Elandra as she's walking out. She gives you a nod, but then she goes away.
Oh, and the final 2, everyone's here. Great. So, Carver, Max, you two clearly learned something. More victims. What did you learn about them?
I'm talked out. He just looks at Max.
Yeah, I don't think I've heard that many words in a day in total from you. That was in that 5 minutes. That's
Good job, Carver.
yeah, no, that was great, wonderful. Yeah, it was great communication skills.
We didn't actually find out much ourselves outside of a strange magical signature that we managed to uncover at the place of the crime. But I sent my familiar to follow it, and it led him to the morgue and the body, and there it could overhear the people inside speaking of 2 other bodies uncovered in different areas.
So
One
3
was
in total.
found in Smoky Towers and the other in Broken Arch. But all of the victims were Siren.
Ah. All right.
Are those places, Smoky Towers and Broken Arch, are those also like Highwalls with mostly Sirens?
DM. Would Leovar be aware of? Do they have a particularly heavy congregation of sirens or refugees?
Smoky Towers does, but like a little bit, especially people who are not as poor as the refugees here. Broken Arch is just a residential area. It's in Dura, so it's pretty rough. But there is no indication that it has like a heavy presence of sirens in there.
Well, Smoky Towers does have a few more sirens there, less than here. Generally, the ones that have a little bit more wealth to their name. Broken Arch, not so much. Just a residential area. Refugees and sirens, not so much in there. Generally, as far as I know. But Jonis and I did learn from Rebecca that Bryn had been recently going to Smoky Towers quite a lot. He said it was for business materials, but he never brought his son, his oldest, who works at the tannery. So there might be something there.
Well, that's all I got.
Daxoketh. Did you have more, Carver?
I was going to say that the more talkative types, there were a number of vantage points on the alley last night where the gentleman was murdered. Some windows, and they were probably asleep, but it might be worth asking if anyone saw anything.
Sure, we can do that after we've got our little bits together. Daxoketh, and I don't really understand your skill set entirely, but I figure you've managed to pick up something very useful.
I have very knowledgeable friends and approached one of them about the symbol that we found on Bryn's forehead. Interesting fact, the symbol belongs to the Siren Restoration Front. Sure you're all familiar with their interests, that they want to relive land for themselves. Sentinel has an interesting theory.
Well, it's just a thought. But yeah, I mean, it makes sense to me, at least, like, that it could just be, like, they're trying to frame sirens. I mean, people don't like the sirens. Why fight them when you can make them fight each other?
Sure.
That's a good point. We also considered that sirens might be a target, considering no one's going to investigate for them. They're a perfect target, whether for pleasure or experimentation.
Exactly. But, I mean, that's possible. Both of those reasons could be the case. but 3 sirens have been killed, had an inverted black triangle burned on their head, which is a symbol of the Siren Restoration Front, admittedly maybe a slightly more extremist group of Siren refugees who want land for Sirens. It would
They
seem
might not have been as extreme as the rest of the group.
maybe, or it could be that it's a group of people that are aware that these people are members of this group and are sending a message to stop trying to push to take land from the British. I mean, it could be any of those things, but
Or none.
Right,
Well-
as of yet, whomever wanted to commit this murder and claim it has either. We could find motivation for any one of these factions to do it.
maybe. In either way, we only know of the name of Bryn so far, and recent behaviour has had him going somewhere that he hadn't really frequented too often. Smoky Towers, and there's another victim there, so maybe we check that place out a little bit, see, I don't know, what we might find there. Kind of look at Daxoketh. Do you think that you work your brand of magic there, maybe to dig something up?
I'm sure I could be observant using my other skill sets as well.
But before we do though, Carver, you did make a good point. Maybe some of us should just knock on a few residential spots around here that had a relative view of that alleyway and see if anyone heard anything. Or anything before we head off.
Neither of you two, and he points at Daxoketh and Leovar, with all your personableness. None of you know any people related to this restoration? Anyone you could talk to get inside, to talk to anyone?
They don't necessarily operate in political circles. I might be able to do some digging.
Both Leo and Daxoketh, give me a history check.
History? Good old jack of all trades. 10.
8.
Okay. So I'd say this. This organization isn't it's not a military one. Like they don't fight or anything like that. They just talk and speak about those ideas. And their presence is rather weak. Like they are not the biggest or people ever. Do you hear about them anyway?
Okay.
No, I don't really know anyone in particular. Not the biggest group exactly. Sorry. I kind of look at Daxoketh to see if he is.
Not the kind of people I associate with.
Worth a shot.
Well, let's knock on some doors and then head to Smoky Towers afterwards. I kind of look at Carver and I'm like, I think you did great with your talking, your conversational skills. You clearly have them. I get the sense that perhaps you might not want to knock on doors. So
I'm going to stay here and have a drink.
that's absolutely fine. That's no problem. I can look at Sentinel and then Max.
Carver
look to
will kind of point out the door, though, and just show you the windows he thinks had the best vantage point.
Thank you. And I look at Jonis and Daxoketh. How about the three of us each pick a door? That way we can hit someone up real fast and get back here.
Sure.
Good, but that only means we're covering 2 doors. Not many.
Three. Three. I mean, there's only so many that face an alleyway, right?
Oh,
Well, we'll meet you back here once you're done.
Shouldn't be more than 5 minutes.
Okay. So I would like for the 3 that are going to do this to give me a persuasion check.
And as we kind of split to Jonas, because I know he's kind of nervous about things, I'm like, Jonas, you've got a wonderful smile and a great personality. Just ask him questions. You'll do great, and I'll inspire him.
You got it.
Persuasion.
Thank you. Is that a D6?
It's a D8 now, right? D8?
Oh.
It was a D8,
Nice.
yeah.
Hey, did you see anything?
23 for Leovar.
21 for Daxoketh.
Plus 7 is 22 for Jonas.
Ooh,
Look at that.
Okay.
nice.
Okay. 20 is for all.
And all for one. Da-da-da.
Okay. So, here is what you learn from your little investigations. So, someone in those windows saw the killer of one of those victims, or the victim. Human man with black hair and like faded sides. He wore a cloak, or a black cloak, but he, as he was running away, it appeared a little bit. A claw mark on his right eyebrow, and he wore what seems to be like a pair of gauntlets that sparked with blue arcane energy. Of course, it's very frightening for those people to come out and say anything to the watch, especially that they are sirens, and the watch doesn't want to do an investigation in this, and they are just an eyewitness, so their testimony is as good as anything, not strong evidence. And another one of those, this is someone who works in the taverns, in one of the middle, especially in the Dagger Watch garrison in Upper Dura. This is a butler. He is actually a British person, a British butler who works there. And he recognizes this person as a member of a gang of British veterans who call themselves the Broken Bridge Brawlers. These veterans antagonize sirens and former military from other nations as well. They are dangerous. But some of them, one of them is that person. Give you a name in a second here.
Guys, we're investigating so good. Look at the stuff you put together.
This person is called Curon. And he's a British veteran. And he frequents Tavern in the Dagger Watch garrison in Upper Dura, called the Gold and White.
Upper Dura?
Mm-hmm. It's a tavern that mainly serves British veterans and people who serve in the Sharn Watch.
And what's the tavern's name?
The Gold and White.
The Gold and White.
Why do I just see if we walked in there, it's just a bar fight immediately?
I mean, at least two of us, I think, are wearing Siren colours, so...
Yeah. Okay. I guess we reconvene and we share this information that we've gathered.
Also,
There's more.
while this was happening, Elandra comes back
No!
with names of the other victims. The victim in Smoky Towers is called Ilara Irkailin. Ilara was a former teacher from Mitrol in Sire. She was in her late 40s, and she became like a quiet advocate for the refugees, often helping children with literacy or aiding families in navigating the bureaucracy of Sharn. She was like a calm person, and she believed in the people in Sire, and she believed that they deserved a true home. This was in Smoky Towers. The third victim was a younger man named Varin Throne. He was a bit younger. He was an artist in Broken Arch, worked in calligraphy, and he attempted to set up a small stall selling artistic renderings of Sire before the Mourning. And those are the other two victims.
Does Leo know any of them personally?
I would say you would know like Ilara, but not personally. You would know
Okay.
her just because she's an influencer.
Okay.
Carver won't say anything, but he will pass her a drink.
Thank you. See, I can be helpful.
No, that was very helpful, Miss Silverquill, and I think it's only fair that I can look at the group. We share what we've unveiled as well, and before we continue to investigate.
Fine.
I definitely would like to hear more about the result of this.
Well, and if you could maybe not have it print before all of this stuff has been dealt with, but you have it ready to go, that would also be immensely appreciated. So we don't have preemptive targets put on us before we've got the evidence that we need. But it'd be really wonderful. But
I never write a story without an ending unless it's a cliffhanger.
so
But then that's just any story without an ending.
No, some stories just end badly.
I will agree there. Some just end in a weird way. But in a succinct and very summative manner, Leovar will provide her the details we have acquired. So, and yeah, that's where we are. I feel one.
If we could, I would attempt to interrupt Leovar before he tells her anything about the symbol, the symbol's meaning.
Okay.
Yeah. Just like subtly, so as if to let you know. Don't say that.
Okay. He's insightful. I think he'd pick it up. And also somewhat perceptive. Yeah, delivers all that information. And that's where we are. So, I think we're going to discern our next course of action, Miss Silverquill. I hope that is adequate information for you for the time being.
Well, thank you so much. I will do what I can. Write up a good story, as usual.
Do you know anything about these brawlers?
Well, I know that they are a gang. They are very violent, especially against sirens and people from other militaries. You know, enemies in our city, people who take our opportunities. You know, all sorts of xenophobic stuff. I think I heard once that they were skulking in a place in the Dagger Watch garrison, some sort of an old yellow spire, an abandoned tower top built by some half-forgotten mage hundreds of years ago.
What district was that?
In district in Dagger Watch garrison in Aberdur. It's the same one where the Tavern, the Golden Light is. But
Well,
you know,
that is-
being it's a garrison, so there's a lot of Sharn Watch in there. So they are hiding just right under the noses of the guards, if that is accurate.
Is there, from what you know, a strong sentiment within the guards against the Syrian refugees?
The strong sentiment would be they don't care. They don't care at all.
Again, Carver doesn't say thank you. He doesn't know how, so he just passes another drink.
Thank you, Miss Silverquill. Again, very helpful. Very much appreciated. Carver
just
has given you 2
reporter.
drinks now, so
Just like a good story. And your group definitely are a source of good stories.
well, we are very colourful, I think.
Well, I will leave you now so you can keep investigating and hopefully give me a satisfying conclusion to this.
Of course.
But if not, and you all die or something, it's still a story. So, win-win.
With a cliffhanger.
It's a sad ending. I can spin it to be like you are martyrs of the siren cause, but this is more esoteric, you know. We will get there when we get there.
Well, let's hope for the better ending then, Miss Silverquill.
I sure hope so myself.
Take care now.
She walks out of the tavern.
She's really not so bad.
Don't tell her that.
If you say so.
And I thank all of you as well for helping with all of this. I'm feeling that maybe Smoky Towers might be where the Siren Restoration Front primarily operates out of. But we might be looking to head to Daggerwatch to check out this tavern, see if we can recognize our primary suspect. I think if we were to, with the anonymous statements from people here who've described him, and if we were to find those gloves that were described as arcane energy, which I'd imagine have a very distinct form of murdering people, I think that might be the evidence we need. Because as I feel a very deeply rooted urge of violence towards these people, which is unlike me, I'll be straight up front with it, but I feel it. But I think if we tried to do anything without very due cause, we would be at the wrong receiving end of the law. So I think we need to find those gauntlets.
Max, could you, if you did that ritual again, would you be able to sense the magic you felt that killed that man?
Well, I sensed those traces, but they would just lead us back to the body. Trail.
No, I mean if we were to go to this tavern or...
Well, if we were
The
close
watchtower.
enough. If we were close enough, then I think so. I mean, your sword registers, so I don't see why the gauntlets wouldn't.
Carver then looks at Daxoketh and says, I think you'd need to change.
Right. Also you,
Why?
Carver.
He's already taking off the green embellishments. They're embellishments mostly to his armor as opposed to part of the armor.
Well, I suppose there's a bit of a giveaway. He'll take off his jacket, and underneath is just a black clothing, black shirt.
All right. Anyone else have any input or plans? Or just head into the bar. Check that place out, or maybe the Cielo Spire Tower. Bar might be a safer starting point, perhaps.
You're friendly with the guards, or some of them.
Down here, I would know more. I don't have as much. I'm more down at the lower wards a lot, but I might recognize one or two, sure. But I can't say I've ever been to this tavern before, and well, I can't imagine. I'd suspect that this Broken Bridge Brawlers gang may be aware of me and may not like me very much, actually. Might put on a new face going into the tavern, perhaps.
You're not Siren.
No, I'm not anything in particular, really, I'd argue. No, I'm not Siren.
But I thought your whole shtick was that people liked you. Why would they dislike you?
I mean, and he kind of realizes that Carver isn't aware, and he's like, oh, well, people do things in their lives, and it can bother certain groups of people. I have done things that would bother certain groups of people.
Like what?
And
Tell us.
I mean, I'm sure some of you might be aware. It really doesn't feel necessary. It's just a thing. It's no big deal.
Boring.
Okay.
Stare. Just staring at you.
On the day of the morning, I happened to be flying my airship over Sire, and well, I saw the morning rolling in from the center of the land, and well, I felt it in my gut that was very bad. I just knew it, so I landed my airship in the town that happened to be nearby, dumped all of our goods and merchandise, and I boarded as many people as I could as quickly as possible till we were at capacity, and went as fast as we could with the fog on my tail, and so I brought a lot of refugees into Sharn. So I would imagine some people here might not like that very much. This Broken Bridge Brawlers, probably.
Carver just stares at you.
You're a hero.
I flew an airship. Yeah, it's all It's only a few people.
More than others had done. I didn't know.
Well, people do plenty. But that's why I probably should wear a different face. These sound like the kind of people that would be hold a grudge for stupid reasons. So, yeah. And Leovar is a little fidgety. You all want to head out now? Seems like a good time. Carver, you're staring a lot at me, and I can't figure out. Do you want to hit me? You should bring inflection into your facial expressions when you stare. I think it might help put people at ease.
Carver just semi-aggressively pats you on the shoulder.
I kind of look at Max.
He's friendly. He likes
Okay.
you.
Great. No, I like you too, Carver. You're very refreshing in your demeanor. So, Upper Dura, everyone?
Oh,
Sounds like
yeah, let's
that's
go.
what the best information to be found is.
What time of the day is it, DM? Is it like lunchtime?
Yeah, by now I would say it's like 3 p.m.
It's not a bad time to go to a tavern. Some people might be eating, drinking, that kind of thing.
I mean, when is it a bad time to go to a tavern? Not really. Also, these people sound like the sort that would just do nothing with their time other than harass people or spend their time drinking. So, I mean, it seems like they'd be there any time of the day. Or at least some of them. Oh, here's an idea. What if... No, I don't know what he looks like entirely. Never mind. Let's go there.
Tell us.
I was going to say I could look like this guy that is our suspect, but I only have a description to go off of, so I don't really know what he looks like, so it wouldn't really work.
Sure, you could come up with something that meets in the middle of what you assume he could look like.
I think that would probably look just more odd. I'll just be some random dude, I think.
Maybe
Your
look
skill set
grizzled,
is a mystery to me.
like a veteran.
Grizzled. Sure. Yeah, I can do that. Once we're closer, it's a bit of a journey to Upper Dura from here, so when we're closer, I'll do it, because it only lasts an hour. And Leovar gathers these things.
Okay. How are you going there? Are you just going to take bridges and stuff and go there, or are you maybe feeling fancy and going to take a sky couch?
I am feeling fancy myself.
Yeah, Leo Sky Couch fancy looked up words. He probably wouldn't say no.
If we're in Eberron, I want to ride one of these things.
I want to go fancy
True.
gadgets and shit.
True.
I was just say,
Okay.
if we end up riding one of these, Carver's going to like watch Sentinel and be like, okay, I should sit on the opposite end.
Counterbalance.
Okay, so it's calculating because there is a lot of calculations here.
Quick math.
Quick, it's not so quick.
Or we can sit on the same side and just make it spin.
I think I have a different thing in my visual in my mind.
Okay, so it would take you normally about 3 hours.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, like Sharn is big, man. Like,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
don't try to rationalize it. It's big, it's massive. So that would take you 3 hours just walking to get there. But with a sky couch, which would cost you about 7 gold pieces.
Each
Wait.
or total?
It's- I will tell you the math. The math
Right.
is
I'm broke.
it's 2 silver pieces per word. You will be going 2 up, so that's 2. and then you will be going through Memphis and then to Dura. So that's another 2. So that's 4, which is 8 silver per scene.
Okay,
And
I
then
can do that.
so it's 4 gold, I think, for all of it.
How much per person?
8 silver.
8 silver.
8
Eight
silver.
silver.
Okay.
I have 2
separate
gold, 5
checks.
silver.
Separate checks, everybody.
Separate check.
Carver will pay for Leo.
Oh no, and Leo doesn't let on that he has no money. He takes out 8 silver.
You-
He wouldn't. But that was me, David. But I mean, if he'd take out the money, Leovar would be like, "Oh no, it's all right. I've got it. But thank you very much."
So you-
The sky caps that you get, it's basically a boat. It's a boat with those glyphs on the inside that has some sort of magical reaction with Sharn's manifest zone, which you would know is connected to the plane of Serenia, the azure sky, which basically enhances flight in the city and keeps this whole miles high towers thing even possible, defying the physics of it. And this sky coach picks you up, and it will move you up and up towards towers of the city. And as you go from Lower Tavik's Landing, this very grimy place, and just go through Memphis, and you can see the towers there, you can see the theaters, the entertainment places in Memphis, this beautiful vistas and theaters and restaurants just line up this whole district and the towers as you move up and up. And then you reach Dura, which is, even in Upper Dura, it is bad. Like, it's bad conditions in here. Like, this watch garrison, this dagger watch garrison is middle class at most, being in Dura, the poorest district here in Sharn, or the poorest ward here in Sharn, in the west of the city itself. But you finally are.
Leovar seemed very relaxed on the ride up, leaning over the edge. And he will disguise himself as they step off the coach to just look like a grizzled human dude in his mid-40s. Nondescript, but descript in that he looks grizzled. Maybe he's got a small scar on his face, on his nose. Yeah, he's seen some shit. And that's what he looks like.
A grizzly human.
Yeah, grizzly human.
Does any of the rest do anything to change I know that Daxoketh is now wearing black leathers.
As I said, Carver's taken off all the green and the insignia, and he pulls off the eye patch, and it's just kind of a empty socket and massive scarring under there. But
Okay.
he's doing the opposite of being nondescript by drawing attention.
Okay.
So helmet,
disguising himself.
yeah, I'd keep the helmet off and I put it in my pack and leave it in there.
Cool.
Whatever
I'm chilling, just the same. It's just,
I might have subtle accents changed on my clothing with the illusion to have reddish colours. Just subtle, not too obvious, but like, oh yeah, I'm totally reddish.
Okay, so a bunch of gold, some whites in there.
The gold accents, and it's in the tavern name, right? Yeah, a little some gold and white accents, yeah, sure.
I'm a big fan of this place. Big fan of this tavern. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
new in town, but yeah.
As you arrive at Dagger's Watch, this is definitely a garrison. The walls of the towers here are heavily reinforced, as if to withstand like siege weaponry. And the streets are filled with guards of the watch, both on patrol and off-duty guards. Like it looks like it's definitely a bad place to start a fight. And knowing what you know about Dura, this may be the cleanest and quietest district in it. Dura is the most dangerous quarter of the city, and forms of unrest are a constant concern. So the place here, the watch here, has the highest and largest concentration of the watch in Sharn. So as you go there, as you walk into this place, you see the enormous garrison in the district is in the middle of it, and then there are like smaller garrison houses around it, and you even see hippogriffs, those hippogriffs that fly above the district, just like circling around with the gold wings of the Sharn watch, riding those hippogriffs and just keeping watch, vigilance over this area and over other parts of Dura as they like fly down and fly up again. And you walk towards the tavern, and it's a large space. It's you can hear from inside just like the sheer amount of music and talk and just life in that place. And being here is very stark to being in the cramped, very tension-filled, very poverty-ridden district of Highwalls. This place seems comfortable. It seems quiet. It seems peaceful. So you reach the tavern. You reach the gold and white, which is just a circle with two halves, white and gold, over the tavern's door. So what do you do?
Unless anyone takes any kind of particular action, Leovar's just going to saunter up to the bar to get a drink.
Okay. Okay. Entering the space here, there are like two tiers to this tavern, and you see that this is like a large interior inside of a tower. There are two tiers, and there's a bunch of tables on the first tier, others on the second tier with a long bar that covers like the entire diameter of this space, with a bunch of bartenders that are like serving drinks and food, and servers going around passing food and drinks to people. And you see lots and lots of guards in here, people who are like taking a break, taking a bite and a drink. In this space, the Sentinel has anything that would identify him as a certain nation?
He took the helmet off. That is in the bag. But his sword is the same one that he had when he was in the military. So if they have any kind of particular, if there's anything that would be different about their weaponry, which given the Bellish there probably is, then that would it's maybe something that he wouldn't have thought about because it's been there for so long. He doesn't think about it. So that is still on his hip. So if the hilt or anything or the blade is different, then that would probably stand out. But yeah, as I go in, Sentinel will kind of nervously begin scanning faces as he's walking through.
Okay.
Just seeing who he sees.
Okay, so Sentinel's sword is unique, but it's not in... Like, you wouldn't notice it if you weren't looking. But those people look for things in newcomers into the tavern, and they definitely recognize that the hilt has an image of a bear engraved on the symbol of the kingdom of Brilliant. And so when you enter, there is like an air of anticipation as they see, who are these people? But as you enter and they notice that symbol on the hilt, there is like a release of tension. Like people don't approach you or anything, but they don't also seem like, oh, you're coming here for trouble. No, you are coming here because you are a British veteran and you want to maybe reconnect with some people.
Omar, as that brief moment of tension happens, that becomes resolved, I'm just going to take that moment to separate from the group and go to the second level and sort of act as if I came in separately from them, sort of just like looking behind, giving Leovar a wink, and just heading upstairs to almost surveil from the second level.
Okay. And Leovar went to the bar where you see like an older dwarf who serves drinks in here, and he goes, "Oh, what can I do for you, sir?"
Hi, yeah, I'll take an ale, please.
That is doable. New here?
Yeah, I'm just new to the city, actually. Just told this would be my kind of place to drink.
Served in the British military?
Sure did.
In what squadron, what unit?
I actually went through a few, actually, unfortunately. But bad luck, I think, on my end.
I see. Give me a deception check with advantage.
27.
Okay. That's unfortunate. I lost an uncle.
Yeah, war's a bad business. You lose a lot of people.
Actually, tomorrow is the anniversary. Not anniversary, but remembrance of his passing. Died on the Day of Ashes. Terrible day.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Give me a history check.
Yeah. 13?
13. You don't sadly seem to recognize what the Day of Ashes is.
I look like I do, though.
You look like you do with a 27, of course.
Yeah.
You see that dwarf goes. You served quite recently, like you were in the recent fights before the Mourning.
Yeah, I was. Got a real bad injury, though, a few weeks before the Mourning in my leg. Didn't have money to get anyone to look at it, so I'm a bit gimped.
No. I mean, I would say it's a bit lucky that you survived that.
Yeah, coming in through the lower wards, there was a lot of sirens in here. Didn't realise it was so bad. A lot of them crawling around.
I mean, it happens, when the king, in all of his generosity, gives him a ward and gives him some land to live on near the borders of their fallen nation. What can you say but comply? I would say it's weakness, but some people say it's generosity.
Generosity? Who says that?
Politicians, mostly.
No.
People who support the crown.
Oh, that makes sense.
What do you think about it?
I think it's pretty shameful, really. It's just brilliant. And sure, the war's over, but it was 100 years of fighting. Now we've got these people living right downstairs from us. Who knows what they're trying to do?
Yeah.
Trying to take land off of us. I mean, despicable.
It kinda is. Like letting enemies into our city and, not even just Sirens but other people as well. It's certainly something.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, I'm new here to the city. I have no idea. There was this many in Sharn. I've kind of not been keeping up to date with news around Brelin so much. I was heading to Sand for a little while back at home. But, yeah.
Oh. But what brought you to the city then?
Oh, separated from the wife. Didn't like how I was getting the last few years after I was discharged with my injury.
I see. And you're not looking for action anymore.
Oh, I mean,
Tired.
I was retired by force. I have a bit of a bad leg, but I can still hold a blade.
He looks around for a bit and he leans on to you and he goes, "Well, I hear that few good lads, have acquired some new toys, and they been going around doing some of the good work that should be done. News have reached us here. Not really sure about the agenda in it, but I see that they're at least putting up a fight."
Good on them. But I'm able to meet any of these blokes. Sound like my kind of people.
You could, and he just like points you with his head very slightly towards a table that is to the side on the second level, which has a bald man with a very heavy, almost like fur-like coat, this is spring. He shouldn't be wearing that. This person seemed to be hiding something with that coat, and other two seem to be younger people that are around this person on this table. And he goes, "This is Marco. He served in the war with our British boys. You could know someone who knows someone who could hook you up if you want to be of service."
That sounds good. Yeah. Thanks. Came to the right tavern. He won't mind me heading over to him now, will he?
You could go there and just nod to him that you're right.
Oh, good.
Didn't catch your name. Didn't catch your name.
My name's Cord.
Cord?
Yeah.
Strange name for a fellow like you.
Oh, well, everyone gets a name from somewhere.
Yeah. Well, Cord, just go there, say hi. I would not.
I give him a nod and a thumbs up. I grab my drink and I saunter on up to that table.
Okay. While this is happening, what does the rest of you do in this place?
I'm curious what Jonis was going to do. I have an idea, but yeah.
Really, just sort of. So walking upstairs to the second level, you could imagine if I could find even just a seat to be in, maybe nuzzle myself in between a couple people, just try to pretend that I belong, and keeping an eye downstairs just in case anything were to go awry. I'll order the weakest thing that they have, like the equivalent of a natty light. And basically camp out, just trying to keep my eyes on everybody as they're doing things. So you guys tell me what I'm seeing from up there.
What does he say, guys?
Uh,
I'm at the bar when he goes up, so
If there's nothing
Well,
specific, we can
is-
say you're just coasting around.
is there a table open?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go hang out at a table, order some drinks and food to multitask while listening in and seeing if anything happens.
Okay. Carver sits down with Max.
Yeah, and he's got just a really angry scowl on his face. He's trying to look at the table, but he can't quite hide it.
What about Sentinel and Daxoketh?
So, Daxoketh is in black. He's got a cape on. A hooded cape. And it's black too. So he's pretty much in all black. And he's got his short sword at his side, and he's he's looking kind of like a pirate, I think, because he's got like one of those really nice frilly old-timey shirts. Yeah, he looks a bit like a pirate, and he confidently comes in and he saunters up next to the disguised Leovar, and he looks him up and down, and he goes, "Don't let anyone in these places these days. Bartender, I'd like a drink, please."
watch it, you.
I follow behind
Ah.
and I sit next to Daxoketh, but I kind of just I keep my head down. I don't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
I just
Don't talk to him like that. He's a British veteran that you're talking here. Cord. He's a good guy.
Oh, a
What are you?
British veteran. He loosens up his shirt, and underneath his shirt is a green pendant, clearly a Sharn, a siren symbol, and he sits down and he takes a drink of whatever was handed to him. I am merely a patron here to enjoy a drink. Is that a problem?
He leans towards you and goes, "Oh, it will be a problem if you keep acting like that.
Acting like what?
Like a siren big."
I've heard that one before. Breelish boar.
You're trying to provoke me. Because
Trying
I
to
can be provoked. I can punch you in the face.
You can? Well, I don't see why not. How about another drink first? Then you can punch me in the face.
At this point, like a heavy hand from Sentinel like bangs on the bar, and he just turns around and he just looks at the guy. Doesn't say anything.
Give me an intimidation check.
An intense stare. 16.
He looks at you, and I'll get you a drink.
got poison in it.
Okay. So, yeah, he gets you a drink. He looks up at you, looks at Sentinel, noticing and sensing the danger he would be in if he does something. And he goes, "Just take your drink and leave. You're not welcome here."
Daxoketh downs it real quick. And feigning inebriation, he spills a little bit on him. He says, "Is there anyone here who's willing to punch me in the face over sire? Anyone?
No.
None of you? All of you Breelish bastards."
Well, while he's doing this, I'm still looking at the bartender, and I kind of lean over and I go, "Yeah, I know you're opinions that you hold over Sire. You know, you can think what you want, but don't act like you're any better.
As Daxoketh is making that scene, can I whisper to Carver and say, "Hey, you want to do something fun and maybe even get an invitation from these bastards?"
To a fight? Please, I'm so bored. If you can cause something that will cause a fight, just
Well, I'm
this whole
thinking.
talking thing.
I'm thinking you go and punch Daxoketh in the face.
Carver just gets up and goes over to Daxoketh.
Okay.
I clock you walking over from the corner of my eye, and I'm immediately like, huh?
Right.
Okay. So yeah, Carver, you step up quickly, and you see like other people are like beginning to like look up. Some of them are angry. Some of the Sharn watch here in the place are like beginning to like scan the bit. Like, is there going to be a bar fight here in the Sharn watch district? And then you go up and you punch Daxoketh in the face, and you see some of the people here begin to like cheer, like, yes, knock that pig out of his feet.
Oh my god.
I stand up. I like both hands on the bar, stand up, knocking the stool out from behind me, or like flying across the floor, and like I turn and I just immediately swing and punch Carver.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. What is this? Give me a performance check, both of you, with advantage, as you're trying to make up this
Who
imaginary
said they're
fight.
performing?
Yeah.
True.
Either
That's
roll
true.
performance or a damage die. It's one or the other.
Yeah. If you want to forgo that, I would say if you allow both of you to hit and take some damage, I would say this is an automatic.
Oh, I'm
success.
I'm trying to punch Carver in the face.
Yeah, I know. Carver just punches Daxoketh. There's no performance here.
Yeah. Roll me some
Finally.
damage.
Oh my
It's an
god.
unarmed strike, so you take 5 damage.
Wait, what's the dice for this?
1 plus strength.
Oh, 1 plus
Yeah,
strength.
just a 1+ strength.
Unless
Yeah,
you
so
have a feat,
5.
I think.
5.
Okay, so punch to Daxoketh, followed by a bunch by Sentinel to Carver's face, and you see the people around the tavern are cheering. They don't know which side they're cheering for, but you see some of the people begin to rise up. And Leo, as you go to Marco and his little gang, as they begin to rush towards that direction, and you see that Marco has those blue gauntlets in his hand, which is this is different person. So it seems maybe there is a couple of them, which would track with having multiple victims. And as he goes there, Marco puts a hand like on Carver's chest, and he does the same for Sentinel, and he looks up. And Sentinel, you recognize this person as your unit captain in the war. But he doesn't seem to recognize who you are.
Okay.
And he just like puts a hand on both of you, looks at Daxoketh, and he goes, "So you came here to our place and you instigate a fight. You scream a lot. You have a big mouth, do you?"
He pouts, doesn't say anything. Spits out some blood.
You're so brave. Don't come here and try to make a show.
Yeah, he will wordlessly walk out. They got what they at least got a little something, so yeah, he'll leave.
And you, and
disappeared.
he looks at Sentinel, and he goes. He like looks you up and down, looks at the blade, and he goes, "Why you stand up for him? What is this about?"
This symbol might suggest that I would stand with, and I call this out, this part to the whole tavern, with people like you, and I get real close to his face, and I go, but I'm not about to sit here and badmouth the sirens, brag about the things that happened in the war. You might not know who I am, but I know who you are. I know who you were. And I know what you're going to be very soon. And I push him, I push his hand off, assuming he's still kind of holding me away from Carver. I push his hand away. I'll just look at him and say, you've got no idea what's coming. Absolutely no idea. I didn't think today would be the day that I saw your face again. But just know there are others. There are other people. So I'll see you again soon. And I turn around and I walk out with Daxoketh.
Okay. Do that. See, he's still holding Carver, and he looks to him and he goes, "What the hell was that about? Who's this? I don't know this guy. What? This is complete bullshit."
Don't look at me. They look the same.
Good bunch.
Shame he stopped me. He goes back to his drink.
Leovar in his disguise is like kind of standing there to the side, and Leovar has a feeling of nausea in his stomach because he hates the role that he's in. But kind of lifts his drink in the direction of Carver, like, "Yeah, good punch."
You see the dwarf just looks up to you, Leo, and goes, good lad. Wanted some action."
"Oh yeah, I'm new here." And I point to the bartender. "Shut up, you and I could have a chat."
He nods and goes, "Come with." And he sits you at the table with the two others. And then he goes, "Don't know what was that about. Those siren lunatics always big mouth, no real grit behind it. Just a bunch of cowards. Look how he ran away once I just stood up to him like he's complete.
Oh, you see that pouty face on him? So he's never seen a day of real fighting in his life.
Yeah, just this mug-faced brat."
Yeah, I mean, if I wasn't like brand new to the city, felt like I could have hit him without getting out.
Oh, you should have.
So, I mean, I should have,
Nah.
but, you know.
You should have. You should have punched him. None of the people here would have, intervened. Those siren people, they are not really protected by the law.
The Marco might suddenly just realise that somebody is standing right over him.
Oh, tall guy. No. Hey, sit down. Hey, drinks here on my account.
Oh, thanks.
You said something about action?
Yeah. See, he eyes you, and then he looks at Max and he goes, "So you're all served brilliant in the war."
Could Carver think up some regiment names that he possibly fought in the war?
Yeah, sure, why not? If you want to give me something.
Yeah, Carver will just say, who were part of the 17th. Over in Carver.
Oh, yeah. You look familiar. I think I might have seen you before.
I'm hard
really?
to forget.
Old bads from the war. Look at this. This is the Sovereign's making. This is definitely a divine sign. Well, I'm not one to... Oh, Bobby. I'm not one to push people away when they want to take some action, but also we just met. But we've been... I have some orders from someone higher up to make some hits, some big hits. Sirens. And, tomorrow is the Day of Ashes.
Yeah.
Familiar with it, right?
Yeah.
Be very iconic to do something that day.
You would know about the history of the Day of Ashes. Carver, being a veteran of the war. It wasn't something that you fought on, but it was on 1943, the 3rd of Dravago, which would be tomorrow. It's a battle where the British army was defeated by mercenaries, Valinor mercenary elves, elf raiders who were paid by Sire, and it was like a terrible defeat for the British army. But it definitely made like a lasting enmity between the two nations throughout the war.
Couldn't have a better day to do something.
Yes. Making some hits on Sirens and also on the Valinor mercenary company that's in Clifftop. That's our goal for today. Tomorrow there are big plans, but I'm not really sure what they are.
Well, where's the action part? Is there fighting?
Yeah,
Do I get to
mean,
hit something?
He puts his hands on the table and you see the gauntlets and you go, these toys are provided by our hire. And if you are willing and if you're able, with a good bunch, you could make it extra impactful.
Oh. Up close and
Probably just
personal.
smiles.
Sounds fun.
It's really something when you look them in the eyes as they take the pain. Really makes you, revenge is a dish best served with a bunch.
Well,
You're saying like you have experience.
Let's just say I do, and let's hopefully say that you will all do.
So these toys work pretty good then.
To do pretty effective in taking out some undesirable people, some big mouths, just like that guy outside. Actually, now that we put it up, maybe if you can take out that guy, I would give you some of those new toys, and then you can join us tonight, as we go against the Valinor.
All right.
Around and says, "What about the guards? Are they on board?"
No, of course. Sirens, it's okay. They're not really protected by the law. Valinor, they are a recognized nation. So when you do that, you do it discreetly. You do it with power. You paint those symbols on their foreheads, it's a Syrian insurgent group. You paint the hint on them, and then the guards will, put 2 and 2 together.
Sounds like a good plan.
Yeah.
Not
So
much
we're-
for planning myself, but our higher, he's definitely is.
Yeah, well,
So-
I'm sure we can follow that pouty bloke. Seem drunk off his one beer. Shouldn't be too hard to find him.
Give him some good bunches and bring him. Maybe the lads and the Yellow Spire could have some fun. Get him to us by dusk, and then we will give you your new toys for the big show tonight.
What makes these toys better than my blade?
They send a message, and we were instructed to use them. Basically, you hold... Or actually, you know what? I won't spoil it. Bring me the guy. I will show you what it does.
Yeah, we can do that.
But see you
Right,
lads.
Yeah, see you later. Meet you here, yeah?
No, Yellow Spire.
Yellow Spire.
With,
Gotcha.
with the guy.
With pouty face.
Yeah. The warforged isn't important. Also, the whole things about the E6 of things. Don't want to think about it. Big brain stuff. I actually used to in the war I used to lead a unit of those
Oh, yeah?
scrabbies. Yeah, annoying things. You just push them in the war, and then they're now like, oh, they actually have feelings and stuff. They didn't have feelings back then. All they wanted was to just punch people in the face and get hacked. That's what they're made for. Kenneth made them for that.
Yeah. They did.
Well, to be fair, a lot of people were like that during the war, but I know I certainly didn't have any feelings when I slit a siren's throat.
Could make a game of it. 3 gold. Whoever gets the serum first. He's looking at
Great.
Cord.
Sure, 3 gold, you're on. I down my drink. I need a head start of a bit of a bad leg, but that stumbling fox shouldn't get too far. I get up and see folks at the Yellow Spire. And I kind of with a faint limp, make my way out of the tavern.
Okay, fantastic. So while that was happening, where were Sentinel and Daxoketh?
So, I think can't hear you, Nate,
Muted it.
even though. What does you left first? So what are you doing?
Oh, I was gonna wait for you, and I was just gonna say I don't think we went too far, but if you had an idea, I'll follow your lead.
Yeah, no. You leave. Like 20 seconds later. After the little chat, Sentinel comes out and he's like steaming. He is pissed. The door like slams open and he storms out. Does this bar have like a sign? Is it like a hanging sign or anything? Or
Yeah, it's hanging above the door.
yeah. As I come out, I grab hold of the sign, I rip it off, and I like throw it across the street.
Sentinel, no one's watching.
And I move slightly away and I begin like pacing up and down. The bastard didn't even recognize me.
What bastard?
There's no point me even explaining. I don't. Marco the bald guy, the guy that split us up.
You spoke
him.
to him after
Let's
I
just-
left?
Let's just say I know him and I don't like him.
Well, you can keep your secrets if you wish.
And they all sitting there on the high horses, acting like what they did was so amazing. They brag about the war and about the things that they did. It's I've punched you in the face. That was something.
I wasn't expecting to target Carver, but that's a mean punch.
And I punched him.
How was it? Were the opponent or a glass jaw?
No, he's made of tough stuff. But it didn't feel good.
It's all for show. Got some information.
Yeah, it was all for show. Yeah. No, we did a good job. Yeah.
You're very convincing.
I'd never ask you to get yourself in danger for me.
Well, that's not fair. I ask you to get in danger for me all the time.
Yeah, but I like getting in danger, so it's okay. Adman and now, there may come a day that I return to this place. And you can be here, or you don't have to be. I won't ask you to be. But I have unfinished business.
I like it. The little skullduggery.
Well, yeah.
Count me in. Just let me know so I can prepare.
Yeah. He kneels down and Daxoketh and Sentinel normally have a fairly light-hearted, kind of jokey, relationship, but you get like an air of like he's being real this time as he kind of gets down to your level and he puts a hand on your shoulder and he goes, "Thank you."
It feels more serious than some of our other dalliances.
They've been in there a while. No wonder what's taking them so long.
As you do that, gets out of the bar, and when that happens, you actually see like 3 guards from the watch just like arrive at the place, and this place is filled with guards, and they seem to have seen that you have taken out a thing and thrown it on the ground. Property damage isn't a joke, okay?
It's just a sign. It's just a sign.
You will be fined for this.
Okay.
Some quick calculations, that would be about 12 gold pieces and 4 silver pieces.
Yeah. No, good one. Of gold.
It is a sign.
You could. I pick it up off the
Attack
floor.
watch,
I mean,
that is.
you could just you can reattach this. Like a couple links on the chain needs fixing. A bit of splintered wood. That is not 12 gold.
See, he looks up at you and goes, "You're resisting the estimations of Sharn watch member?"
I take a step forward and I go, sorry, do you feel good about this?
I mean, it's damage to a property that has served the people of this district, Sharn people, especially over the years.
Did they
It
serve
has
did
a
they serve the
sentimental
Siren
value.
people that come here after the war? Did they serve those people? Or did they serve only a select few people?
I'm not really sure what you are insinuating here, but I take it that you are an angry member of. And he looks at your person and he sees the symbol of your sword. And he goes, that's odd.
I don't have 12 gold.
Just put up the sign. You're tall.
I have a set of Tinker's tools, which aren't like that useful in this situation, but like I imagine they have tools which are like
Sure.
you know, I
Sure.
have like a hammer. Like I'll
Sure.
yeah, sure.
Just
And I
they
do
keep
do
looking
my
at you
best
as you do it. Okay. Give me a utilize action. It would say thing with a DC on it. Just give me a d20 roll at your proficiency.
Uh, 7.
Oh,
I am Sentinel, but I want to flavor this as Sentinel is really not trying as hard, like trying to do this well. It's
Okay. Yeah. So you
doing
put
the
it,
bare
but
minimum.
it's like dangling from a chain, and the guard just look up at it, and then they look at you and goes, "Even this you can do." So those warforged were really just made for war then, nothing else. No more skills. That's awful, son. Awful.
Oh man.
Do it.
Daxoketh, you Daxoketh, you see and you feel a vibe from Sentinel that you rarely see, that you rarely pick up on, but you know happens when he's provoked and the war is mentioned.
Yeah.
And Sentinel is gearing up to make something happen here.
does Sentinel give Daxoketh any wordless instructions? Or is he
No,
just focused?
he is dialed in on this guy.
Yeah.
Daxoketh,
Daxoketh,
you know something's about to go on. Something's about to go down.
Yeah, Daxoketh gets in position. He slinks out of view.
Okay. As this is happening, the guys from the bar, you go out. You see this intense standoff happening here.
Sentinel is in this guy's face, and he goes, "Say it again."
If Leovar sees this, he comes out. Is there windows by the door? Could people inside see outside the front door?
Definitely so. And as you are getting out, you see some people from inside are like, looking this, and they recognize Sentinel from just this showdown that happened inside.
Carver is just grinning.
Again, still in the guard's face. What exactly do you think you know about me and my people?
But I know the war. I know what you were made for, and clearly, your skills at doing other things aren't that amazing.
And what exactly were you made for? Walking the town with your friends in your full suit of armor, beating up helpless drunk people that could barely fight back. I'm sure you feel so accomplished.
Are you drunk right now?
Leovar's
I didn't know
been-
that Warforged could get tipsy.
Leovar didn't engage with that. He looked, and then he went to look as if he was looking somewhere and went away. But with his back to the tavern, he points through his chest, and he'll do a message spell once he's a distance away to Sentinel. Right, look, I'm super pissed myself. I feel like throwing up in my mouth right now, but there is something really big happening, and we can't afford to make a scene, because if we do, the only people that can help the siren people of this city will be in trouble with the law, and we can't afford that. Please, Sentinel.
Okay. You don't get a reply. A Sentinel says to the guard, "You're right. I must be drunk. I best get home before something bad happens."
You guys just
Let's take, like,
hear
a step back.
You hear a muffled like through the second floor window. Oh man! As Jonas' face just watching.
Okay. You see the guard just like laughs, and he goes, "Drunk Warforged. First time I saw that."
Oh, haven't you heard? If you add some alcohol to the oil, knocks him right back.
Wouldn't that just
You,
burn?
Yeah, sorry, Carver. You get a dirty look from Sentinel. His face doesn't change because it can't, but you know.
Anyway, see if you have a. There was a light here in black just a moment ago. Damn. Okay. Well, anyway. Yeah. Just go.
I head to an alleyway. That if I can see no one seeing me in the alleyway, I'll drop my disguise in the alleyway.
Okay.
Can I say that it's the same alleyway that Daxoketh is hiding in?
Sure.
I don't see you because you see me coming into the alleyway. You see my disguise drop, and you see me put my hands to the wall, and you just see him go. Oh fuck!
So you guys see Leovar in that alleyway, just like hiding. Jonas, as you do this, you see one of the servers of the bar comes up to you and goes, "So that would be 2 silver for your drink."
As he sort of pats around, almost waiting a little too long, like, oh, my coin purse.
No way you were stolen. It was stolen from you here.
Here, I found. You said 2 silver? Here you go. That should be enough.
You shouldn't drink by your own. Okay, you seem old, but you also seem underage for some reason. You have this weird quality to your face.
Thank you.
This wasn't
Get
a
that a
compliment.
lot.
Okay.
I will foppishly bow and get out of there and try to keep up with the people, because it seems like we're scattering into alleys.
Okay. So, yes. Collecting yourself in a dark alleyway with the information that you now have. Is there anything that you would like to do before we start to wind down for the day?
Once we kind of get together in a little alleyway that's moved away, Leovar will to Sentinel, I think in particular. I'm really sorry. This place is horrible and things are really unfair and I feel physically ill. I can't say that I 100% understand where you're coming from because we're different people, Sentinel. But I understand the sentiment and it's disgusting and I'm sorry. But the people that nobody cares about need people like us to play the games of people in power so we can do something for them. And I look at Carver and Max, and there is definitely something happening here tonight.
Indeed, there
Bloody
is.
better be. This is. How long has it been since I hit something? There has to be some kind of action there tonight.
You
This is-
hit
all
Daxoketh
this
like
talk- that
10 minutes
doesn't
ago.
count.
He's bleeding.
He's fine.
He's
Carver
not
fine.
bleeding.
Daxoketh on the
Daxoketh
head
takes-
and just like
takes his hood
cast
off and-
cure wounds.
For the punch. Well, okay, now he's not bleeding.
See, he's fine. There was no intent. We need to fight something.
It was a good punch, and
You
Leo,
took it
that was
well.
the point. I wanted to start a little something so we could suss out who's involved. And look, it worked.
It is. No. We
It
came
It was a
together.
good plan.
It
Yeah.
was brilliant. You took that punch well. And then Carver's going to turn to Sentinel and just be like, "We got to go at it sometimes. We got to just have it. Just have a go. It would be. I'm so bloody bored here."
Yeah, Sentinel normally would be like, hell yeah, let's fight. To anyone else. But he kind of thinks for a second and then he goes, I'm sorry for hitting you. I thought it'd feel good, but it didn't.
No, but you sold the whole scene really well. It was great.
Yeah, it worked perfectly.
Good. Yeah.
We call that the honeypot surprise.
The spicy pot.
He's right though. It really doesn't feel good. As soon as you guys started hitting each other, I thought all bets were off. I turned and swung at the first guy I saw, and my wrist is killing me, and I don't think that he even registered that I hit him. I do 0 damage on unarmed strikes.
Emotional damage.
We need to fix that. That's it. Did you put your thumb in your fist? That's how you break a thumb.
Yeah, even I know you shouldn't
Like
do
a
that.
hammer. Like a...
No,
That's not good.
no.
Jonis, I believe you will do great when the time is correct for you.
Okay.
But for now, it seems like we have a bit of an invitation to join our friends at the criminal group. There's
So what is it that they want from you?
well,
You specifically.
Or we can kill you. Can you pretend to be a corpse? How good are you
Well,
at playing dead?
I think they want us to bring him to them to mess with him.
Yeah, but we can just say we got a little excited.
Sure. How good are you at makeup and making yourself look dead?
Makeup? I'm not an actor.
Well, I'm sure we can figure something out because we have till tonight because there is something happening, and my gut tells me it's very, very, very bad.
Well, tomorrow is the day of Ash.
So
I
think
mean, we can just get some dirt on your clothes and stuff. That
Or-
should be enough.
Or we could steal a body.
But
they
but
want him though.
yeah,
Make it look like him.
All right, if we'll have difficulty making him look dead, I think we'll have more difficulty having a random body look like him dead.
I have to be on Leovar's side on this one, Carver.
Tell them that you knocked me out. Now pretend that I'm unconscious or something.
Sure, go limp.
But then they're going to have fun with you.
Well, no,
Well, we're not gonna let it get that far.
yeah, well, this is a...
Daxoketh does like a fainting motion, and then literally as he's falling, he just he disappears out of you. Yeah, I mean he's not invisible, but he just you don't see where he went, but he's gone. I mean, he's that good.
Where?
He's that good.
That could work.
Okay, that's a trick.
That's like magic.
Oh, and also, Sentinel. The idiots inside, they won't recognize you later. Just maybe wrap up that sword or something. Put a strip of cloth over it.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I took off the helmet and then I didn't even think. I just had it for so long, it didn't cross my mind. But yeah.
I think we need to regroup indoors in safer territory, not in an alleyway, and plan. I think. I'm not much of a planner. I'm way out to my league, I'll admit, but we'll figure something out, I'm sure.
Okay. So, with an invitation to join the Broken Bridge Brawlers on their mission tonight, provided that you bring Daxoketh to them. This is a good point to end the session, and we'll see where we pick up next week. Thank you, guys. Thank you guys for being here, and thank you guys who watched this episode. Thank you so much for watching and sticking around, seeing this. Hopefully it was fun for you to watch and you enjoyed it as much as we did. And we can't wait to see you on the next episodes. If you would like, please, give us the likes, the comments, the shares most importantly, and give us a follow. Our social media accounts, they will be in the description below. Thank you so much again, and see you next time.
See you guys.
See you, folks.
That was a great plan. And also, Android, thank you for making us go over there. I wouldn't have thought of it.